Hello guys, Ragnarok Hyper Revived here, bringing you the, my thoughts on Metal Gear Survive. It's one thing to watch your childhood go up in flames. For those who don't know, Metal Gear is the reason I love gaming. It is the series that made me, not even a gamer, but who I am today. It taught me about, how to be a compassionate human being. It taught me how to be it taught me how to appreciate cinematography, how to appreciate video gaming, and it just, there was a lot about the series that really changed me as a person. The music has influenced me artistically. The game itself has influenced me artistically. It's taught me how to tell a story, how to write characters. I started playing Metal Gear when I was 7, and it shows how much my mom knows about video games. And then I just watched my cousin play it when I was 10. I watched my cousin play Metal Gear Solid 2, and I didn't understand what was going on at all, but I loved it, and it was such an experience that really changed the way I grew up, I think. So to watch your childhood go up in flames is one thing, but the other thing is just... The sad part about this is this game is going to be alright. Now, I have a prediction for Metal Gear Survive, which I'm going to say now. Hold on, I actually wrote it in a text to one of my friends, and I want to make sure I remember everything. Okay, so my prediction for Metal Gear Survive is that it's going to be a decent co-op survival game. It's going to be, not survival game, but a zombie shooter game. It's going to be a 6 out of 10 game. The storyline is either going to suck or be basically non-existent. I'm talking about if there's a storyline, there's going to be 5 levels, and then that's going to be it. It's going to be bullshit. It's not going to make any sense, and it's not even going to be worth anyone's time. What's really going to get people in this one is the multiplayer. There's going to be very few game modes. It's going to be totally broken. With mechanics, and there's going to be glitches and everything in the game that just ruins the experience, that are not going to get addressed. Some of the glitches will get addressed. Most of them will just be a part of the game, like we see with Metal Gear Online. And a lot of this I'm just drawing on what I know about Metal Gear Online, how they totally ruined that, and I'm pretty sure it's the same team making the same game. Making the new game. There's obviously going to be microtransactions, but people will ignore all the issues. They're going to ignore the microtransactions. They're going to ignore all of that because the game will look pretty. Now, I'm assuming they're going to have a way for you to import your Metal Gear Online characters, or to just create the same looking characters. There's obviously going to be a character creator as part of the engine. It's going to be more detailed than Metal Gear Online, but it's going to have... an equally lacking amount of content. A lot of the content is going to be hidden behind microtransactions. A lot of the weapons, you better believe you're going to have to pay real money for that shit. And there's, of course, going to be DLC. I don't think there are going to be any big expansion packs, though. And like with Metal Gear Online 3, the fan base is going to die out pretty quickly. And I think, in terms of long-term, Konami's eventually going to release a free-to-play Metal Gear Online game, which is going to suck ass, even worse than Metal Gear Survive. So that's my prediction. I think it's going to be a 6 out of 10 game with all those issues I said. Fun for an hour or two, and then after a while you just get sick of it. So I'm about to watch the trailer. I have to get to a show. And I'm doing this because I love you guys. That's why. Even though you're not going to see the video until after I get out of the show, but I'm doing this because I love you guys. So I'm about to give you my live reaction to Metal Gear Survive. Hold on, I'm pausing it. Let me start from the beginning. I have 24 ounces of alcohol here. I'm expecting to drink it before I get to the show, which is in an hour. So that's just, fair warning. Now.
Peggy 18. Metal Gear Survive TGS 2016プレイデモ
Metal Gear Survive
メタルギアサバイブの最新ゲームプレイ映像をお届けする。メタルギアサバイブは From the looks of it now, it's already looking basically the same game as Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah,
A lot of the same textures, the same it almost looks like this is the same exact map with just a few edits here and there.
あらゆるものを利用して元の世界に帰る方法を探し求める。本ミッションの目的は
Place a transmitter at the side of a special wormhole. It's like a mod. This game is basically a mod of Metal Gear Solid 5. That's what it feels like. With co-op.
こうすることで素材を効率的に回収することが可能となるだろう。
If it weren't for the Fox engine and for Metal Gear Solid 5 being a really, really good game, this game would have no foundation on which to stand. It's basically a mod. They just called it a creature.
頭部が欠損しているな。視界は悪そうだ。複数の敵に正面から向かうのは危険だ。疑似餌を使ってみよう。 音と匂いによってうまく疑似餌におびき寄せることができた。背中のコブはクリーチャーの弱点だ。ここを破壊すれば即死させることができる。メタルギアサバイブでは
You can Fulton extract creatures. It's weird how they have access to a wormhole extraction, but they can't use the wormhole to get back home. That's odd. And again, the worst sin here is that this game looks very beautiful because the Fox engine looked very beautiful, and it makes things look very beautiful. But right now, all I'm seeing is a mod of Metal Gear Solid 5. That's all I'm seeing.
このような状況ではスリングショットが有効だ。不意打ちで角に当てれば数秒間意識を奪うことができる。うまくいった。このように地形を利用して敵を倒すことも可能だ。
And you know what? If this were an expansion pack of Metal Gear Solid 5 to the effect of Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, I wouldn't be so offended by it. But they kick Hideo Kojima, take the basis of his game, and just slap a bunch of shit on top of it. And it's just like, hey, look, we don't even need him. It's like, but this is basically his game. I'm basically just seeing Metal Gear Solid 5. Oh, that's so frustrating to me. Because I loved Metal Gear Solid 5. It was such a great game. Yeah, the storyline wasn't on par as with the other games in the series. But it was a great game, and no one can deny that. Same animations, same exact animations. The camera is a little different, but you can tell it's the same animation. It also is a survival game. Yeah, it is a survival game. Along the lines of Metal Gear Solid 3, but with more survival crap. I liked how I was laughing because the zombie was on his leg and he was just standing there. Like he didn't try to step on it with the other leg or try to get away. He was just standing there flailing like an idiot. And again, with my prediction, I said it's going to be fun to play for like an hour or two. But then after that, it's going to get boring, repetitive, and you're going to notice a lot of the cracks in the seams. A lot of the cracks in the seams? What? What did I just say? The Fulton Cannon? See, they mention Metal Gear Online because they're trying to get that that core amount of people, those people still playing Metal Gear Online, they're trying to get them back over to this game. Like, hey, it's more Metal Gear. And honestly, I have to say, I'm not going to make any judgments about true fans versus fake fans. Excuse me, I just burped into the microphone or anything like that. But I am going to say, the people who are still playing Metal Gear Online and who think it's the greatest thing ever have zero judgment. Like, honestly, the game still only has 4 game modes. I predicted that thing was dead a while back. I also predicted that Metal Gear Online 2 was dead before it died. So, you know, I think I know a thing or two about this. But man, just the people who just can't get it past... It's those people who are making this happen. It's those people who are making Metal Gear Survive be a feasible thing. And this is not the only one we're going to see. We're going to see more Metal Gear Survive-like games in the Metal Gear series that just take Hideo Kojima's work and pervert it. Almost. And I'm not saying this is the worst sin ever made. But, you know, I've had a great summer. I've had an amazing summer. A life-changing summer. You know, relationships-wise, I got to see Radiohead in concert at Madison Square Garden, which was, again, life-changing. But this is really, wow. This announcement coming in the middle of the summer for me, or toward the end of the summer, was just like, what? Well, at least they finally have new voice acting. That's good. But you know what even sucks even more? Is that Metal Gear Online was supposed to make... I saw Angry Joe's review. Video Game Donkey's review. Metal Gear Online was supposed to make... those are the same fucking... Okay, that's a slightly different animation, but it's pretty much the same thing as from Metal Gear Online. But anyway, Metal Gear Online was supposed to augment Metal Gear Solid 5. It was supposed to be the expansion to the game, the online expansion to the game that makes it even more worth the money. And don't get me wrong, Metal Gear Solid 5 was totally worth the money on its own, but the online was supposed to seal the deal. And then they gave up on it halfway through to push this shit out. To push this shit. This is what we're getting instead of a complete Metal Gear Online experience. You know, the experience that only has 4 game modes a year after it's been freaking released. Oh my gosh. Just the fact that they would do this is just such a big middle finger to the fans. Why can't this bow and arrow and the spear be in Metal Gear Online? Why do they have to be in this crappy? I keep wanting to call it a free-to-play game because that's what it feels like to me, but it's not. This combat looks incredibly boring. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, but obviously I'm not succeeding. Okay, you can place assets down. Cool. So you can make it into a tower defense game. And again, 6 out of 10. As far as zombie survival games go, I think it's going to be a decent one. I don't think it's going to blow anyone's socks off. But I think it's going to be a decent one that some people would play for a short amount of time. But to put the Metal Gear name on it is just... Golly, gee willikers, it's going to hurt my gut. And it's going to do all right. It's not going to hold on. I have another prediction too, that they're going to have cameos from the main characters in the series. Of course, there's a crafting table. And it's just using all the leftover assets from Metal Gear Solid 5. Like, oh, here's this bit of wood. Oh, here's this bit of thing. if you notice, there aren't that many new animations in the game. The things that might take the most time, I would imagine, is making new animations. But instead of giving us new animations, I mean, yeah, they had to animate the zombies and everything, but instead of giving us all that, they're giving us this crap with leftover assets from Metal Gear Solid 5. And again, if this was an expansion along the lines of, Black Ops 3 with zombies, or Black Ops 2 with zombies, or Black Ops 1 with zombies, if Black Ops 1 had zombies, I think it did. Along the lines of something like that, if it wanted to be an expansion to that game, I would be perfectly fine with it. If this was an expansion to Metal Gear Solid 5, then I would be perfectly fine with it. If this was DLC for Metal Gear Solid 5, it'd be like, yeah, this is super cool. But no, they stopped enhancing Metal Gear Online to push out this cash cow. And I honestly have to say, as far as when you hear the concept co-op zombie survival game, you wouldn't expect it to quite be like this, I don't think. But I think it's just the fact that it's basically Metal Gear Solid 5 modded. This is what makes it feel so different from other co-op zombie survival games, because it's got the core mechanics of Metal Gear in a game about zombies. All the memorable characters, all the memorable boss fights, all the unique advancements to the genre, to the stealth genre that Metal Gear Solid has brought about. None of that really matters. All we want is a co-op zombie survival game. We don't need Hideo Kojima, the brainchild. Is that the right word? Brainchild? That's not right. That's not the right word. The brains behind Metal Gear Solid, the one who brought all these timeless, memorable, unforgettable moments in gaming history. We don't need him. We just need his the Fox engine and most of his work, and we can push this shit out. Same sound effects. It's a lot of the same. It's a lot of the same stuff. It's literally just a mod of Metal Gear Solid 5. And the more I think about the zombies, like, they did their best to make the zombies not seem like zombies, but they're just zombies. It just feels like Metal Gear Solid The Last of Us. Which is even more apt of a comparison because The Last of Us had stealth elements, so... Alright, this is only going to last for another minute, so... Let me down the rest of my beer. I swear to God, if these guys die at the end of this trailer, that's gonna be hilarious. It looks like we're pulling out. They're just gonna leave? They're just leaving? How do you just leave? Today's mission didn't go smoothly. So they failed in their own trailer? I know they probably planned that, but what? So what? To what end? What is the point of this game then? What happens when you win? We don't know what happens when you win. Basically, they just told us, screw off. It's not about winning, it's about the struggle. Which is basically Konami's motto at this point. It's not about Konami. It's not about winning. It's about the struggle. Oh, God. Oh, God. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. Wow. Oh, man. It just feels like such a huge middle finger. They released Metal Gear Solid 5 unfinished. They released Metal Gear Online unfinished, and it's still not finished to this day with only 4 game modes, like less than 100 pieces of customizable equipment, and 100 is probably being generous, and glitchy and shit mechanics, unbalanced, and microtransactions. On top of all that, on top of the lack of customizable features, half of them are locked behind microtransactions. They released those 2 things unfinished, Metal Gear Solid 5 and Metal Gear Online. Metal Gear Online devastatingly unfinished, cripplingly unfinished. Metal Gear Solid 5 was unfinished, but in a way that people could still enjoy it, and it was still a very memorable and amazing game despite the fact that it was unfinished. Metal Gear Online was cripplingly unfinished, like capped at the knees. And then they put this shit out, asking for, what is it, $20, $30? Still way too expensive for my taste. If this was an expansion to Metal Gear Solid 5 with a promise that they were still going to keep updating Metal Gear Online and this game simultaneously, I would give it a pass. I would probably play it. I would probably enjoy it. But they're trying to sell it as a standalone game, their first thing since Hideo Kojima left, and after they shat on his game, his last game with them, and made it, and just capped it at the knees and forgot about it, and now they're releasing this to pretend like Metal Gear Solid 5 didn't even happen, using most of the assets from Metal Gear Solid 5. Oh my gosh, this is a slipshod mod job. Like, if Metal Gear Solid 5 had modding tools, a competent programmer could probably make this game in a year or 2. And that's exactly what they did. They took Metal Gear Solid 5, they modded it, and now they have Metal Gear Survive. And that's what the game is. You can tell they use the same sound effects, the same, and it's like, what did you expect them to do? They released it in a year, but it's like, yeah, they didn't have to release it in a year. If they'd taken more time with it, maybe it would have been a decent game that could stand on its own. But no, they just took Metal Gear Solid 5 and modded it to release a new game. So that's my thoughts on Metal Gear Survive. Wow. Oh my gosh, what a disaster. I still stand by all of my predictions. You can go to the beginning of the video if you didn't hear them. I'll probably put a timestamp for when the video starts and when my predictions start. I still stand by all of them. I think it's going to be a 6 out of 10 decent game. The graphics are going to be pretty good because it's running on the Fox engine, and people are going to like it. There's going to be a really sizable fan base for it. The same guys who are playing Metal Gear Online now and think it's the second coming of Jesus Christ. But I personally, and I think a lot of people, a lot of critics, a lot of people are going to play it for an hour or 2. They're going to think it's a little bit fun, and then they're going to get completely bored of it. They're never going to touch it again. And that's my prediction. Alright, thank you guys for watching. This has been my Metal Gear Survive video. I had to get a lot of that off my chest, and I'm very disappointed. But thank you for watching. Have a good one, and bye-bye.